We finally connect again. Where do I begin?
You're already pointed to what you want. The whole thing has brought you to this crescendo. So don't wander around. Just get right to this important point in 6 minutes.
Okay. All right. When I say that you've helped me to grow into who I am right now, it's been a very interesting journey. I can honestly say that it all works.
Yeah.
That when you allow yourself to embrace the truth of staying true to yourself, in the sense of what makes you feel good, then it just keeps leading you down roads that you can come to the point where I've come to where now my favorite statement is, thank you for the contrast.
Yeah. Step 5, step 5, step 5, step 5, step 5, step 5, step 5. Bless the contrast, because it is the reason for expansion, and expansion is so delicious. Expansion is only not delicious when you've expanded and you're not going. But when you've expanded and you are going, woo.
Yeah. And it's like I've actually visualized everything of this happening. I knew that I would be picked. I hear people on the recording saying that, and I'm like, it really does work. But the funniest thing is when you're desiring something and you're not seeing the result of it, is holding true to what you really want.
Well, that's the thing that trips people up all the time, is because what's already manifested, you've got all your physical senses that can see it and evaluate it and pigeonhole it and catalog it, and other people can see it too. So we get it. It's really compelling. You have to tune yourself to another way of feeling life in order to be satisfied before it is materialized in all that way. In other words, you have to be satisfied to feel satisfied. You have to feel satisfied to be joyful, or satisfied to have clarity, or satisfied to feel energy, or satisfied to be having fun, satisfied to be moving along, satisfied to be on the journey, satisfied to be on the never-ending journey, because there's no end to the journey. If you need an end, you're never going to be satisfied. And if you're not satisfied, then your journey's going to be crappy.
I totally agree. And
Yeah.
I was just speaking with the lady sitting next to me about how I've learned to embrace the journey, because we get so caught up in the destination. And that's where oftentimes I believe people are unsatisfied, because they were thinking that that thing was going to fulfill something, not knowing that they needed to be fulfilled to get fulfilled.
Every moment, and we're not kidding, your life is giving you an opportunity to evaluate and choose satisfied or unsatisfied. And as you start leaning toward satisfied, then those satisfying things start becoming more and more, till every moment of your life is full of satisfying things for you to experience. The better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. Law of attraction just keeps you full of whatever is active in your vibration.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And I've actually learned to really apply this. And for me, the biggest thing has been appreciating the small victories, because it seems like
because that's what life is.
Yes, that's part of the journey.
So what you're saying to us, and thank you so much for it. What you're saying is you're satisfied when there's not a lot of momentum. In other words, it's a small thing and you're satisfied. And then law of attraction takes that satisfaction into greater and greater momentum, until then there are really big and really frequent peak moments. But you're not demanding the peak moments all the time, because as long as you're in the range of satisfaction, you know it's all going to be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've seen this actually in my work. I had a supervisor that was not acting in the way that I thought they should act. But
Unsatisfied. We're just playing.
And then I realized that they were there to actually grow me.
Satisfied.
And in that growth, I started getting even more control over the environment.
Satisfied.
Which led them to go from being irritating to them embracing me.
Satisfied.
The way that I am.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I've had to deal with thinking outside, being a little different in the way I think, and just the fact that I'm here. Most of the people I know wouldn't be coming to a conference like this or investing the money to do this.
Yeah.
And that's what I look at as an investment in myself and my greater being.
Yeah.
And
puts you in a place of greater expectancy of results. It does.
And I'm at a point right now where I've seen that it works. I've recognized my power. I'm constantly, throughout my life, I've been reminded of the greatness within me, but I have not, in my opinion, allowed myself to walk in my full greatness.
All right, not satisfied. That thought's not satisfying.
Correct.
We're right here in this moment where you have control. So what you just said, even though it's a hot button that you've pushed many times, right now in your supreme alignment, you just made a statement that is leaning into dissatisfaction. Now, catch it fast and reorient it. What do you really mean to say?
I knew that when I came here, I was going to come out knowing that I am and I can be whoever I imagine myself to be.
Yeah. I know so much, and I don't mind stepping into contrast. And the fun of knowing who I am is just beginning for me in a conscious way. I've had glimpses of it my whole life. I've had moments where I stepped into my power and I knew it, but I wasn't able to sustain it because I didn't really understand the laws, and I didn't really have complete awareness of my own guidance system. But now I do. I get the laws of the universe. I understand who I am. I understand my relationship with source and with my inner being. I understand all of that. So now the richness of life that comes to me, I'm in control. I get to choose. Can't you feel the power of that statement? And don't you know it to the very depths of your being? There wasn't anything that we said that you don't absolutely know. Yeah.
I definitely do choose this. And I want to know, how do I put it?
Yes, the answer is yes. Put it in the terms that your inner being would speak it. I want to know, speak it as your inner being would speak it.
I want to know, how do you go from the average person that you've allowed yourself to be to, like, where you maybe went from the stage of, hey, I'm having this feeling.
Here's your answer. The same way that you find satisfaction, and then satisfaction becomes clarity, and it becomes stability, and it becomes knowing, and it becomes energy, and it becomes excitement, it becomes enthusiasm, and it becomes love, and it becomes passion. Feel the difference between feeling the relief of letting go of some resistance. I feel fear, and now I've found revenge, and I feel better, but there's still resistance. And now I found revenge, but now I feel anger, and I still have resistance, but I feel better. But when I cross over from that into satisfaction, now there's no resistance. In satisfaction, there's no resistance. There's not much momentum either, but there's no resistance. So satisfaction, as the momentum increases, and it will, goes into all those things that you want. So when you say average, let's call average satisfied. Let's call it satisfied. So now here I am, this person who has deemed myself as average in the sense that I don't feel greatness. But now I'm satisfied right now. And in that satisfaction, I don't even feel like I want to label myself great or not great, or average or unaverage. Those labels don't matter to me at all. I don't want to label myself rich or poor or enlightened or unenlightened. I want to label myself satisfied. I'm just satisfied. I want to label myself satisfied and therefore under the influence of source. Now, when you're satisfied and under the influence of source, what do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen when you've got no resistance and you're under the influence of source? And source is going to say, what about this? What about this? What about this? You're going to get this impulse to be here and go there and do that. You're going to have meetups and all kinds of things. You're just following your bliss, following your bliss, following your bliss. And we don't mean to make it sound like a long time. You all translate this story into it taking a long time. It doesn't take a long time. When there's no resistance in your vibration, it goes really fast. And it goes so fast you don't believe it's real. It goes so fast you don't think it's about you. It goes so fast that you want to say, no, wait, I'm average. This shouldn't be happening to me. You're not average when you move over consistently into satisfaction. That makes you not average. Average is dissatisfied. Average is complaining. Average is pushing against. Average is doing all of those things. You are not average. You are satisfied. Good enough?
Almost. I mean, on that aspect it is.
Be quick.
Okay. I just had a thought in my head, like someone that was special needs. They had asked me a question one time, and it was about heaven and different things outside, and it just kind of made me wonder about in this whole creation and our ability. Like I could see where we have our, like where we are as far as a normal functioning people, to where someone that has a special needs, like where is their power in their creation of reality?
They are powerful, and in most cases more powerful than anyone else they know, because they made a decision coming in that they didn't want to be someone that could be categorized and pigeonholed and expected to be any certain way. They came with differences. They came with a very strong intention that if you're going to love me, it's not going to be because I'm going to perform in a way that makes me lovable. You're going to love me because you're under the influence of Source.
Okay. And I did get that. One last thing. Before I came here, along this journey, I've come into contact with my Source, and the way it's been revealed to me was the term has been called masters. That's the name, that's the energy that I have, and it makes sense to me because of the knowledge. But I mentioned this to someone, and they were like, oh my gosh, what are you going to? Like, are you know, like, is this like, you don't want, like, and this person's very spiritually in tune with certain things, so they got into a negative aspect of, well, what's the, you know, like, be careful what you're going into, that you don't want to be opening up to channeling things and doing all this other stuff. And I'm like, no, it's not like that. It's, you know, because I really do believe.
Good thing that person didn't meet Jesus early on.
You know?
Don't want to open to Source.
and it's like, you know, I really am in tune with understanding that I think we are all a piece of Source, and
Everyone.
Together we make the Source.
Yes.
And, you know, we're all trying to figure this all out.
Well stated. Think of mastery. Step 1 is ask. Step 2 is Source gives. Step 3 is receptive mode. Step 4 is mastery of the receptive mode. Step 5 is I've got such mastery of this receptive mode that I can now experience the contrast that causes the whole thing to continue to move forward. You could think in terms of mastery rather than masters. Masters implies somebody's trying to boss you around. There's not any of that going on. Mastery is a whole different thing. And masters are masters of mastery. We've enjoyed this interaction. Good time for a segment of refreshment.